My next guest is coming off one of the biggest wins last weekend at UFC 281, getting it done over Frankie Edgar in the first round. It's Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo, back here on the program. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like I said, still feels surreal to me, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
There was a lot going into the fight, and you sort of addressed all that post-fight, and I know you've been doing some media, but, we're a few days removed now. Have you been able to soak in that win? Because that was a huge, monumental moment in your career.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I still have a job to do at the end of the day, and thank God I was able to see it out. And yeah, it's on to the next now.
Could that fight have gone any better?
No, no, it couldn't have. Man, I didn't expect it to go so quick. To be honest, people would probably be like, "Yeah, I meant to do that," and yeah, I meant to throw the knee, but if you would have told me, "Hey, you're going to get him out of there within the first 3 minutes," I would have told you, "No, it's not going to happen that way." For some reason, I envisioned a long, grueling fight. It's Frankie Edgar I was fighting, so I put a lot of training into that one and was like, man, I'm going to go through hell in this fight.
How much more did it mean with the fact that you had Mark Montoya in your corner? Of course, it's pretty well documented. He had some serious health issues, and the fact that he was able to make it to the fight, what was that feeling like, being able to get that win and represent the team and represent his, him as someone that you train with? Like, what was that moment like for you after you sort of got to take it all in?
Oh, of course. It was like, it felt like a unit, like we were a unit going behind enemy lines, and that's what it felt like. It felt, you know, I was definitely the foreigner coming in there, and they made sure I felt that, and I did, So, but again, it's Frankie Edgar. How could you go against him?
How did you celebrate after the fight? Did you get to celebrate? Because again, I know there was so much going in. I'm sure you're just focused on getting the fight done and getting the win. But did you actually get to enjoy yourself? Did you go out at all?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got to spend time with family. That's how I like to celebrate. My coaches. We went out, we ate for a bit, and then the family came, and of course, man, being in New York, everything. We got out like 1 in the morning, so you can only celebrate so much. I don't like to do the clubs and all that, so I stay out of all that.
Yeah, waste of money. It's better to eat some good food. Did you get any
Take me,
pizza at
yeah.
least?
Take me
Because
to the food. What did
yeah, I
I
was
eat
gonna
pizza?
say,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I ate maybe too much pizza, but it's man, New York's got so much culture, so I took advantage of the food, and yeah, like I said, I spent time with the family and for a bit, and now it's back to reality.
What was it like as well? Like we talked about this pre-fight, your buddy Jonathan Martinez takes out a legend in Cub Swanson. You just took out Frankie Edgar. What was that conversation like after the fact? Just kind of looking where both of you have come from to seeing where you guys both are now.
Man, we kind of, uh, because he came back to the room after the fight, and you know, kind of just looked at each other and we're like, "Damn, like we're doing it, right?" Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we were just two kids growing up, talking about, this is what we want to be in life. And, I think I could speak for both of us, not knowing if it was ever going to come, to real life, if life was going to make a full circle. And so, especially for me, to be honest, I never envisioned myself doing as good as I am and being where I'm at in life, to be honest. So to be where I'm at now is just almost like a man, like, damn, like I'm here, for whatever reason, I'm still here.
Hey, well, you're putting the work in, and it's paying dividends, man. You're making a lot of good decisions, and it seems like it's all working out for you. Did I know you guys kind of joke a little bit? Did you make a remark at all about how you finished your opponent faster at all? Or was that ever talked about? Because I know you guys kind of do some trash talk back and forth.
Yeah, we do, we do. No, right immediately after the fight, no, it was just congratulations. Man, we both took out legends, and we both took them out decisively. It was not no decision where it was controversy. It was we both made statements, and you can't take that from us, and at this point it puts us in a better position, and you can't deny that either. So there definitely will be some trash talking, whenever we get fights booked, and we got to light that fire under each other. We stay talking shit, all of us do, but yeah.
No bonus, but I mean, it was a stack card, so it was kind of, it's you look who you're competing against. But did the UFC at least take care of you a little bit from that regard with the performance?
Uh, and not that I know of.
Okay. Well, I know
Yeah.
sometimes they will, give you a little bit extra, even if they don't announce like a bonus or something. So
Oh,
maybe it's coming later. Who knows?
maybe,
Sometimes I know that happens.
maybe
I
I
would
wouldn't
think
be
so. I mean,
opposed to
that's
it.
honestly like that was a great knockout. Like that's one that I think if you're talking top knockouts of the year, that's got to be up there, man. You knocked him out cold. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, I wouldn't be opposed to it if they decided to. Here you go.
Right.
I'll give you a
Yeah.
little
Here's some
extra.
money.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
no. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for what's next.
Well, we'll talk about that in one sec. Just one more thing about the fight. Did it ever cross your mind not to take the fight? I mean, again, with what had happened to Mark, like, because I know he's like a father figure to you. I'm sure it did cross your mind at some point. Maybe he might not be able to make the fight. Did it cross your mind at all?
Yeah, it crossed my mind that he might not be there. We took this fight before he found out anything. So when I took the fight, we agreed to it. We signed the contract, all that good stuff. We didn't get the news till like almost a week and a half out.
Right.
It was like crunch time. Like yo, like what's going to happen? Everything's kind of in the air. And man, I wanted Coach to be there. But we talked about it, and you know, the conversation was, I was going to remain a professional, and I still had a job to go do. And I just I would have really liked to have him there, and I'm glad he was there. So
Yeah. All worked out. How's he doing now, by the way? What's the latest?
I don't know. I'm going to talk to him here later on this weekend and see how things are going. But from what I know, I hope everything's still on track, going according to plan.
It's a fresh win, like I mentioned. Have you thought about when you want to have that next fight? Like you didn't really take any damage at all. I know sometimes in camp you get some bumps and bruises and you go into a fight, you're not always 100%, but how are you feeling? When would you like to have that next fight?
Man, hopefully, like within the first quarter of the year, like I would say, April would be the deadline. Hopefully, something before April.
Yeah. Want to enjoy the holidays a little bit? I know Thanksgiving's next week, right? American Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I like to eat for sure, but no, I'm a professional. I keep the weight under control, so I definitely want to enjoy a little bit. But if I have to fight in January, February, weight would be good too. So.
You'll fight anyone. I know you sort of leave a lot of that to your coaches and your management, but any fights you're looking at that you think would be fun next? I mean, you just defeated a former UFC champion that's that was ranked. That's got to count for something. What do you sort of have in terms of the next opponent? What do you have in mind?
I mean, I said I wanted, either Pedro Munoz, Dominic, but who knows what's going on with him? He's probably done fighting, or Rob Font, or I don't know. Those would be three. They're way ahead of me. Those would be good matchups, not just for me, but for the crowd too. So we'll see. I mean, those three.
Yeah, no, all good names, and I think well deserved. You have a lot of leverage here. Do you feel like that was kind of your coming out party in some ways? You've had some big wins before, but none as big as a name like Frankie Edgar. Do you feel like you're finally getting the respect you deserve?
I guess only time will tell that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I've been here. I just,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm my own worst enemy. I think I'm my own biggest critic. And so I think I just, when I get out of my own way, I think that's whenever you can see a glimpse of like greatness, I guess. But I'm learning to. I'm learning to get out of my damn way and to, yeah, like that's the best way I can explain is I'm learning of getting out of my own way. So like I said, I'm excited for what's next and whatever challenge is next.
Yeah, no, we're really interested to sort of see what happens there. What's been the feedback like since the fight? Not only with the win, but again, going on the MMA Hour on Monday, that's a lot of exposure. Have you had a chance to look through all the messages? I'm sure a lot of positive feedback from that victory and everything else.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I've been getting a lot of. At first, the messages were, like I said, I was getting death threats and.
What?
Yeah.
From Frankie Edgar fans, I wouldn't have expected that. That's crazy.
What do you mean, man? Hey, Frankie Edgar fans are ruthless. Okay.
Are they really? Okay. Maybe I've
Yeah,
never
you know,
encountered that. I've seen some other fan bases, but that's not death threats from you. That's
yeah,
insane. Like you're signing on the contract. They both signed to
yeah.
fight. It's crazy. Okay.
I get I hope you die in there, or I've had people, I hope he breaks your face in the first round, or shit like that. But I just laugh, I'm just like, damn, like you suck for that. But no, I guess after the interviews, and people know how I really feel about the guy. They are like, hey man, you're not that bad after all. You're kind of okay. And then after
But that kid,
the
you know what though? That's probably some kid, right? Like, let's be like
yeah,
a grown
I
adult
mean,
is probably not saying, "Hey, you look like," as if like there's some sort of arbitrator
oh
of who's a good fighter, right? So
yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm sure he doesn't even know the people are messaging me because for whatever reason, I'm sure he doesn't. But I still get them. You know what I mean? I still get them, and they're there. But I don't really take them serious. I mean, I kind of do, I kind of don't. I'm always weary, and always looking and shit, because you got to take some of that shit into account. You know what I mean? Like, what if there is
well,
a
yes
guy?
and no. I'll kind of put this, not to kind of go on a rant here, but I think people you respect are the people you should listen to, not some random. Because maybe you might find that one good point out of like 30 messages, but most of them are people who have no idea what they're talking about, have no idea how, like I said, and that's why I brought up the coming out party thing. Like you and I have been doing interviews for years. I think most hardcore fans know how good you are, but I think those fans, the ones that are messaging you, I would hope now they give you some respect here, man, because it's crazy to hear people threatening you for just
Yeah,
doing your job, right?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, now I think I've been getting a lot of positive messages. Man,
Right.
it's a lot of people are going. Again, my story's no secret. It's not better than anyone else's. I'm just one of the statistics going through it, and
Mhm.
the feedback that I'm getting, man, it's a lot of parents out there. It's a lot of fathers out there going through what I'm going through, and it sucks. It sucks that we're men that want to be in our kids' lives, but yet they, you know, courts don't really see it that way for the fathers. They only see it as a money cow. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's that.
Good on you for speaking out on that, man. You have a platform. You've been very, I think that's only going to help the conversation grow because, like we've talked about a million times, it's not something I think is common knowledge about the rights and all that, right? So,
No, I mean you would think, right? But
mhm,
man, it's so crazy. And unfortunately, the only way you learn about it is you got to go through it. And
mhm.
when you go through it, man, it fucking takes you through it, and it beats the shit out of you. So, you know, I'm
I hear you.
still hanging in there, still hanging in there.
Um, Speaking of positive feedback, did anyone win any big money on your fight? Because I imagine the knockout prop and probably the first round prop must have been really, really good money. Anyone win any big money on your fight that you know of?
I don't know. I get a lot of messages like that. I don't, I just like fuck off. I don't
Right.
stop telling me you're betting on me, and then if I lose,
Well,
and then,
those are the worst people. Like,
you know what I
let's get real
mean?
here. As far as fan bases goes, if you message a
Yeah,
fighter and you say you lost me a bet, that's like the word. Like that is one of the dumbest things I see people do. I
yeah.
don't get it. I don't know if that makes them feel better. It's not like you're going to be like, okay, I'll give you your money. Like, I don't know what the
I don't
goal is
know.
there.
People message me and they're just like, "Oh, you better win. I got $1,000 on you," or I'm
Yeah,
betting my car. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, man, I hope you lose it all. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
To me, I'm just like, don't like fuck off. Don't send me that shit. Like, send me positive shit. And I know I'm betting on you, so fucking win. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I don't want to get in
I
a
don't
wreck,
know.
but it's
No. It's okay. It's okay. It's
you
all good.
know,
I get this. Yeah, I see the frustration. I think those are the worst fans, the ones that message a fighter after about a loss or anything like that. Like that. That's just terrible people.
yeah.
Anyways, not to end on a bad note. What do you got planned for the rest of the week? Because I know you'll be in the gym probably a little bit, but what do you got? You probably enjoying a lot of food and catching up on TV. What are you getting up to?
Catching up on TV.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I'm definitely catching up on the food. I got the rest of this week. Monday, I start training again. But man, to be honest, no, I'm just I whatever. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm just still dealing with all the legal shit. So that's what I'm doing now, actually.
Mhm.
So, but I'm hanging in there. Like I said, I'm hanging in there, and I'm finding the positive things out of this fucking stupid ordeal going on. So, trying to
What
do my
what
best.
what type of food are you eating? Because I know there's a lot you can't have during camp.
Oh man, I know, and that's all the good stuff. Man, what I did get to enjoy is like my parents' type of food in New York. You know, Colombian and Guatemalan, like all the South American foods, the food trucks. I was eating all of it. I'm gonna go find some more here later today too.
What's your favorite Colombian dish? Like, I'm not even familiar. Like, what would be like a good dish there?
It's called bandeja paisa.
Okay. Can't
Bandeja
pronounce
paisa.
that, but I'll take your word for it. What is it exactly?
Oh man, it's a little bit of everything. It's got rice, chicharrón, arepa. It's got una picada de carne. It's so different meats. It's got like chorizo, chicken, steaks, shrimp, lobster tail. It's got a little bit of everything and um, buñuelos. Oh man, it's just so much. See what I mean? It's just a
I know
lot
you're
of good
making me
stuff.
hungry, man.
Man, it's
It
good.
sounds delicious. That's awesome. Hey, Chris, congrats on the win. Excited for the next one. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, sponsors, social media, you name it, I'll give you the last word.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me. Yeah, you can find me on social media, Chris Gutierrez, MMA or El Guapo MMA. All my sponsors. Um, is yeah, Iridium Sports Agency. Thank you guys, Factory X, my team, and to all the supporters, especially Colombia and Guatemala. I appreciate the love. Hasta la próxima. Until the next one.